Pixar's super family, The Incredibles, are back in a long-awaited sequel that's bursting with Easter eggs, references, and secret cameos. Yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers, it's Jan here, and today I'm breaking down the top 30 Pixar superhero and pop culture Easter eggs you might have missed in Incredibles 2, and what that post-credits teaser means for Incredibles 3. I'm also starting a new Incredibles giveaway. You just need to be a subscriber and leave a comment below about the movie to enter. Spoilers ahead, so take care if you haven't seen the film yet. A113 is a regular Pixar Easter egg that's an homage to the California Institute of the Arts classroom where many of Pixar's animators studied, and it pops up multiple times in Incredibles 2. It appears on the runaway monorail that Elastigirl stops. It's also the number of the room where Elastigirl watches the screenslavers broadcast. It's also on the side of the Hydroliner where the final act takes place. And A113 also shows up at the movie theatre at the end of the film, and it's sneakily hidden in the movie posters for Dementia 113. By the way, the film playing at the movie theatre is also a reference to an early 1960s Francis Ford Coppola movie. Edna Mode and Jack Jack scenes are some of the best parts of the sequel. When Bob goes to Edna's place where she's been babysitting Jack Jack, she mentions that the superpowered toddler likes Mozart, which is a nod to Kari the babysitter who mentioned Mozart in the first movie and also used his music in the short film Jack Jack Attack.
I also brought Mozart to play while he sleeps to make him smarter because leading experts say Mozart makes babies smarter.
There's a very clever Poltergeist reference during the Jack Jack cookie scene. Craig T. Nelson, who starred in the classic 1982 horror movie and who's also the voice of Mr. Incredible, hears Jack Jack talking from another dimension after he disappears, leaving a remote control behind.
What the?
Cookie! Cha-cha want a cookie? Num-num cookie? Cha-cha want a num-num?
In Poltergeist, one of Craig T. Nelson's children gets sucked into another dimension by ghosts, and similar to Jack Jack, the family can hear her voice from the other dimension through their TV set. The Pizza Planet truck from the first Toy Story movie is a regular Pixar Easter egg which has appeared in every movie so far, the only exception being the first Incredibles. This time around though, a period-styled Pizza Planet truck was specially designed to fit the setting of the sequel. This Easter egg was placed by set supervisor Nathan Farris, who notoriously made the Pizza Planet truck in Finding Dory almost impossible to find. In Incredibles 2 though, the screenslaver is revealed as being an ordinary pizza guy, so the Pizza Planet truck is likely in a scene he appears in. Another regular Easter egg is a Chinese takeout container. This style of box has a very specific design that recurs throughout Pixar's films, after first having appeared in A Bug's Life, where it was called the Chinese Cabinet of Metamorphosis and was used by Manny for his circus act. Another Easter egg which supports the Pixar theory of a shared universe is a billboard in Incredibles 2 for TripleDent Gum, which is really hard to spot but it flashes by during the Elastigirl train rescue scene. TripleDent Gum is the brand of chewing gum from Inside Out, the jingle for which plays throughout that movie.
TripleDent Gum.
We'll make you mine. The song from the gum commercial.
You know, sometimes we send that one up to headquarters for no reason.
And there was also a TripleDent Gum Easter egg last year in Cars 3, with the brand appearing as a car sponsor. The recurring Easter eggs of brands like Pixar Planet and TripleDent Gum, as well as the same Chinese takeout box design, lend support to the Pixar theory that all their movies exist within the same universe. The mind-erasing device that Rick Dicker uses to make Tony Ridinger forget Violet's secret identity is the same one he used to erase Kari's memory of the baby's superpowers in Jack Jack Attack. Incredibles 2 of course includes lots of callbacks to moments and details from the first movie. When Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl go to their meeting with DevTech, they wear the original costumes they had before Edna made their iconic red suits. And Elastigirl's new silver suit and Elasticycle both have an upgraded version of the logo she used to have when she was a solo superhero. Elastigirl's darker, sleeker design is meant to be practical to help sneak around in the shadows tracking villains. However, when Helen complains that it's dark and angsty, she's also commenting on modern superhero movies which have tended to shy away from bright, colourful costumes.
I'm not all dark and angsty. I'm Elastigirl.
At the Incredible family's new house, there's a mug with a logo for Insuricare, Bob's old employer from the first movie. The waterfall that Elastigirl drives the Elasticycle out of is reminiscent of Syndrome's lava waterfall, which also worked as a hidden opening in the first Incredibles movie. Plus, I also got some Batcave vibes from this scene. And when Elastigirl uses her body as a parachute to slow down the speeding monorail, it's a callback to when she performed a similar move on the monorail at Syndrome's island hideout. The other big regular Pixar Easter egg is a famous Luxo ball. If you want to spot that in this movie, look out for Jack Jack's cradle. The Luxo ball appeared in Pixar's very first short film Luxo Jr. together with 2 desk lamps, one of which is still used in Pixar's logo. As well as all the Pixar references, there are also some cool superhero Easter eggs and in-jokes in Incredibles 2. When Dash says,
"We want to fight bad guys. It defines who I am."
it's probably a reference to Christopher Nolan's Batman Origins movie, Batman Begins.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
Some of the visuals in the movie also felt Batman-esque to me, such as how Elastigirl looks like she's flying through the city like a bat, and these rooftop shots of Elastigirl which reminded me of Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns and also the Batman vs Superman movie. Following Pixar tradition, Incredibles 2 includes an Easter egg to the studio's next movie, Toy Story 4. However, because details of Toy Story 4 are still sparse at this point, Incredibles 2 set supervisor Nathan Farris has said that the Easter egg will probably only make sense once Toy Story 4 comes out. I did spot what looks like a neon cowboy hat during the helicopter rescue scene, which could be a Woody Easter egg or perhaps a reference to a new Toy Story character or location. If you saw anything else, do let me know in the comments. The Incredibles 2 credits are a joy to watch, but if you didn't quite stick around to the very end, then you may have missed a tiny little teaser for a possible sequel. It's not a proper post-credit scene like you might expect from a live-action superhero movie, but after all the credits have rolled and just before the screen fades to black, a little image of the Underminer's drill pops up again. This is a reminder that the villain got away earlier in the movie and that he's still hanging out underneath Municiberg, ready to return if Pixar want to greenlight an Incredibles 3. There's also a stack of secret cameos you might have missed in the film. Singer-songwriter Usher makes a surprise cameo in the movie as Frozone's biggest fan, and his words in the sequel are also a callback to Syndrome's line to Mr. Incredible that he was his biggest fan.
I am your #1 fan! After all, I am your biggest fan.
This time around, Rick Dicker is voiced by Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul actor Jonathan Banks, as Bud Lucky, who previously voiced the government agent, passed away between films. John Ratzenberger, who's voiced a character in every Pixar movie so far, returns as the voice of the Underminer. The Sons of Incredibles director Brad Bird lent their voices to the original movie and the sequel. Nick Bird, who was the voice of the Tricycle Kid in the first movie and also voiced Squirt in Finding Nemo, performed the voice of Monster Jack Jack. And Nick's elder brother Michael Bird returned as the voice of Tony Ridinger, Violet's high school crush. Signage in the movie also provides a place for loads of secret shoutouts for other Pixar crew members. This Christov billboard advertising Bulgarian overalls is a nod to Incredibles 2 art director and Bulgarian-born Anthony Christov. Pixar legend Joe Ranft is honoured via the Joe Ranft grocery store. Ranft had an Oscar nomination as one of the writers on Toy Story, and before passing away he'd worked on all of Pixar's movies plus voiced various characters. Incredibles 2 story manager Catherine Hendrickson's name appears on a sign on the side of a building during the Underminer sequence. And current technical art director at Pixar Michael Rutter also gets a shout out via the Rutter's Everyday Repair and Replacement store in Municiberg. There's also a Domi's Deli named after Domi Shi, who directed the Pixar short Bow, which plays in front of Incredibles 2. Now this next one would have been a delicious Easter egg for Incredibles fans everywhere.
15 years too late.
Incredibles 2 was originally going to be released in 2019, meaning it would have come out 15 years after the original, making that Syndrome line fit perfectly. Pixar though had numerous problems with Toy Story 4, so the two films' dates were switched around, bringing the Incredibles sequel forward 1 year, a bitter blow for lovers of that Syndrome meme. So what other Easter eggs or references did you spot? And did you enjoy the sequel as much as the original movie? Be sure to let me know and make sure you're subscribed for a chance to win an Incredibles Funko Pop. You can also tweet me any comments or requests. Coming up next are more Incredibles 2 videos plus Jurassic World 2, and I'll link those here on screen when they're ready. Congratulations to my last Incredibles giveaway winner. Send me an email from my channel's About page or tweet me so I can send you the prize. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Yippee-ki-yay, movie lovers!